This week on the Anime Alchemists Podcast. Bro, 80% was not enough.
Well, okay, he says that, like, when he's talking to Armin, he says that he would have killed them all.
Yeah.
It just, you all happened to stop me at 80%.
Part of me sad that happened.
Oh, so she relates that because that's how she felt. It was devoted love.
She was devoted to him for 2,000 years.
Yeah, and even though he was a monster, like, he treated her like a...
But she loved him.
She, bad endings don't necessarily ruin the reputation of a show.
Good question.
Bad sequels do.
Bad sequels do. Yeah, that's fair.
the name of this episode. Welcome back to the Anime Alchemist Podcast. My name is Emery.
My name's Gary.
My name's Martine.
It's episode 105.
Oh, you were gonna say another.
You almost looked at it.
Almost. I'm not. It's hard to keep track now.
Yeah, and you put the numbers up there too.
Yeah. Oh damn! I even had it right here in my hand. Appreciate you guys for listening or watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn those notifications on. Like always, let's talk about some anime and spoiler warning.
No, spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning gets you 10% off on G Fuel.
And big spoiler warning this episode because today we're finally talking about what, boys?
Attack on Titan.
Finally ending.
Finally, after 76 parts.
Hey,
we're here.
hey. I'm happy they took their time. It looked immaculate.
It looked really good.
For real, as much as like we like to joke, I am glad that they took their time because those workers deserved to take their time.
Mm-hmm.
It looked fantastic. That animation was some of the best I've seen from the show.
Not to mention all the other shit that studio was producing at the same time. Like,
Yeah, they're doing JJK
Yeah,
at the same time.
they
Like,
were
we've
working
seen
on that while they put out Hell's Paradise.
Oh, I forgot about that too. I didn't know that. I forgot that.
Dude, they did.
And they did
so
Chainsaw Man,
much
didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, like
They've done all of them.
They've been pumping out stuff while doing this.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely something that I wanted to bring up, and I'll bring that up later when we talk about JJK.
Okay, yeah.
That's like a whole conversation in and of itself. But I do really want to talk about the end of Attack on Titan because as of this recording, it just aired like yesterday, Saturday. And so if you're a longtime listener, you might know. If not, Gary here is the one that's actually read the manga for Attack on Titan. He read the ending and everything. Did you read it from the beginning?
Yeah. So I watched it on Netflix when it first dropped. And I was like, this is crazy as fuck. I'm not waiting for that. So I read the manga from start up until I was caught up.
Gotcha.
And then I had to wait a month for every update because it was a monthly.
Oh, those are like the monthly releases, kind of
Yeah.
like what Boruto is too, and Dragon Ball
Oh,
Super.
dude, it was rough too because they'd leave you on cliffhangers and you're like, what? Like what y'all experienced as anime watchers? That's 100% what we got as manga readers.
Wow, that's insane though. Because you're the only manga reader for that. You and me have been anime only, correct? Yeah.
And I've avoided the ending like the plague, dude. I had no idea what to expect.
Me either, and I'm really happy that we were able to make it like to the finale without completely getting spoiled. And it was everywhere, but I think it was just easier to avoid because
People in the Attack on Titan community are actually considerate.
yeah.
I'll say that. I've seen a lot of like thank you posts from people who finished the finale and they weren't spoiled, and they're just like, thank you. Thank you so like as content creators, thank you so much for not spoiling it in the comments.
That's great.
Yeah.
I wish more communities would be like that. Like we all know how horrible it can get, and
Yeah, we need a little bit more of that in the One Piece community, please.
and the JJK community. Like, y'all, chill out.
Y'all, people are getting better about putting like, by the way, this has current manga stuff.
Yep.
Before we get into it, they're getting a lot better about spoiler warning.
Yeah, as they should. Let everybody enjoy it their own way. Not everybody wants to know the endings. Some people do. That's fine. That's why they're out there. Other people like to experience it and take their time with it. So try to be a little bit respectful. But back to it. So we're the only anime only. So I guess I don't know. What did you guys think?
How do you feel about the ending?
I have kind of mixed feelings. I've heard overall for the past like 3 years, that the ending wasn't that it was bad, but it wasn't good. They were just like, you need to see it. That's probably the answer I got the most from Eric, from Diego back in the day. Like a bunch of people who had read the ending had all told me like, you gotta watch it. I don't know how I feel about it, and I want to see how you feel about it. And I kind of get it now. It wasn't for me personally the best ending. There's a couple things that I had issues with, but I didn't hate it at all. I actually think it makes a lot of sense. And again, last spoiler warning, the ending being Eren like planned all of this from the very, very beginning, and he like kind of pulled a Lelouch, if you think about it, turned himself into the enemy of the world to save the Eldians and like get rid of the Titans completely, right? So that aspect of it made a lot of sense to me. Did he have to murder 80% of the population?
Yes, it was the only way.
80%?
It was the only way for it to play out.
Yeah, I get it. Like, he's seen every
he says it
possibility.
literally. He says it at the ending literally. He says, it's because I'm a common, or what is it? I forget what he said. Like, garden variety idiot.
Okay.
And I stumbled across this insane power. It's the idea that he's not intelligent enough, like to
come up with a better solution.
Yes, to come up with a better solution. Like, no matter how he tried to manipulate himself, without him actually like taking control or anything, because that's not possible. Right? Everything exists at the same time. So anytime he tried to influence himself, no matter the way he influenced himself, the outcome was always the same. He tried multiple times. Like, there was no way around it.
Yeah.
It was just, that's the way history is going to go down.
Okay. So I understand that. But I don't know. I don't believe that there couldn't have been another method. And I'm not saying that I have a problem with, like, the 80% of the people dying. It's just, like, hard to believe that, like, you know, like Doctor Strange, when he's like, I looked at, like, 1.5 million universes and this is the only way to beat Thanos, like that kind of theory. I don't know why it makes sense for a superhero movie, sure, but it didn't make sense for a story like this one to me. I think there could have been methods where get Armin involved. Armin is a fucking genius. Maybe he could have found it. Like, he's clearly very good at communicating with other people, making like opposing sides kind of like understand each other. I think he could have done a lot given the opportunity.
Well, there's less people in opposing sides to have to understand each other now, and they have Armin.
Yeah, and that's true. So, but more than anything, like with that ending, and especially what we saw during the credits and then the thing after the credits, yes, like, you know, Eren accomplished his goal, at least, of getting Mikasa and Armin free. Like, let them live their life completely free, a long life too, right? So that's fine, like, that being one of his goals. But we saw Parody, like the island of Paradise, whatever, get rebuilt, you know, years and years, decades into the future, hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to war. We start seeing it get like destroyed, and then they get nuked. So they inevitably get wiped out regardless. So it kind of leaves that like feeling for me that like, so it was all pointless if the point was to save the Eldians, which I guess that
wasn't the point.
That's not the point, but it kind of felt like it should have been the point, maybe. I don't know.
So that, like, that whole concept at the end of like, oh, well, the cycle just repeated itself, like everybody's dead anyways, well, what's the point? Is, well, not everybody was dead either, because you see the kid walking into the tree.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Not all of humanity has been wiped out. Yes,
right.
History repeats itself. But Armin explains it in the I guess Path world.
Yeah, like the tree place or whatever.
Yeah, there's small experiences and moments throughout life that make it worth it.
So it's just, I guess, prolonging the inevitable as much as he could, basically, to let those people live their long lives and maybe potentially find a compromise, knowing that they probably won't.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like
80% is the compromise.
Is there. And you know, even though, yes, there's the possibility that it could all fall apart again. It's like there's also the possibility of these people to make these valuable memories. That's what the leaf and the baseball scene was about.
Each moment is different for each person.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get that. Well, I don't know. You haven't. What are your personal thoughts on it, Emery?
All right, like, I'll be honest. Personally, I really, really was hoping this was gonna be like a series where like the good guy gets everything he fucking wanted. I mean, yes, I understand, like, technically he did,
Mm-hmm.
but, like, not for the reasons I was on the ride for.
What were you on the What were you?
Bro, percent was not enough.
Well, okay, he says that, like, when he's talking to Armin, he says that
Mhm.
he would have killed them all.
Yeah.
It just, you all happened to stop me at 80%.
Part of me sad that happened.
You wish they would have completely annihilated the
Like,
entire world. or
as
he
much
would've.
as I love Armin and Mikasa and, like, how much I wish they had, like, you know, I want them to have a good life as well.
Mm-hmm.
I was in it for Eren.
Right.
And, like,
Yeah, that's a fair point.
ride or die, motherfuckers. And, like, it is a good ending, 100%. Like, and it's very philosophical,
It's so philosophical.
especially that, like, end credit with, like, going back into the tree. Like, it all kind of refers back to like the term hate only
Reduces or spawns like
more hate. Yes. And, like, that's all it was. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the end credit thing was more of, like, showing that, like, he did it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's happening to them again, and, like, them going back to the tree is just literally, like, it's just
never ending.
it's never ending. It's just the cycle.
It's the cycle of hatred that, you know,
Mhm.
we hear that a lot from Naruto, but realistically, it's human nature for some reason to, like, seek out conflict and, like, just do that to each other, I guess. And I get, like, that's a really good philosophical point, and that's one of the reasons that people, like, defend this ending a lot is, like, well, no, like, that's the point, is to show, like, the philosophical side of it and showing that human nature is always to just bicker with one another for some reason. And that there is no actual resolution here. And, like, I kind of agree with that, but with a show like this one, there's times where I think people would want that resolution that probably would never happen because it's a fantasy, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, you know, we're watching a show about giant titans, shit like that, incredible, like, you know, in a world that would never exist here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we go into this fantasy world, you know, and we drop that suspension of disbelief. So I don't necessarily want a realistic ending all the time because I jumped into this fantasy. So I think it can maybe leave people more satisfied if you do go the route of having, like, an ending that probably wouldn't happen because that's what you jumped in for anyways. You relate to a lot of the philosophical stuff because it does relate to our real world, but I still think that just for getting attached to the characters alone, maybe, like, doing a good ending isn't a bad idea on a show that's already the story.
Yeah.
Just something like that. Now, that might just be me. People can think completely differently, but that's one way to look
I
at
do
it.
have kind of like a question, I guess.
Yeah.
Was the worm thing, like, the world's response to, like, a balance?
I mean, that's just a thing that evolved.
Okay.
Is that like what they were talking about? Like life always looking to reproduce or to multiply, basically?
Yeah.
When Zeke was talking about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, remember in the last like big thing, we got the backstory of Ymir or Ymir.
Yeah. The founder or the
founder?
The founder. Ymir.
We got her story.
Yeah.
Remember, she jumped in the water and it, like, attached to her.
Yeah, I do remember that. And that's the thing that, like, whenever Aaron's head got shot off, right, by Gabby, that's the thing that connected
him.
Yes, and that's honestly probably the only reason why he was alive.
So, but where did it come from? Where was it up until now?
Resides it resides within, like, the founding.
So Aaron's had it since he's had the.
Yeah, no. It was inside the founding. Like, that's why all of these Titan abilities stem from spinal fluid. Is because that creature. There's a word for it too. Like, there's an actual biological name that he based it off of.
Okay.
But it's like a form of an amoeba, essentially. And it just attached to her spinal column.
Oh, okay. Oh, that does make sense to the spinal fluid thing coming from this. Okay.
So you can get Attack on Titan spinal fluid G Fuel. Make sure you use our code. Spoiler warning.
Yes, sir. That was really good.
That was a good one.
So at the end, when we see that, like, giant spinal cord monster thingy, right? Go and chase after Eren after getting blown up, trying to reconnect with him. If they did, that would have continued the rumbling, correct?
Yes, but remember,
But it stopped when
Armin-
Zeke's head got cut off.
but the commanding of the colossal titans stopped.
He'd
'Cause
still
there
be
was no
able to
longer
become.
royal blood.
He'd still be what?
There's no longer royal blood.
Yeah,
The
that's why the
command-
rumbling stopped. The
to
command.
command the titans. That's why the rumbling stopped. But it's because Ymir was so like involved in everything.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't doubt that she'd be able to just command them herself at that point.
Maybe.
Mm.
And speaking of the Ymir stuff, so it's essentially a mecha love story at this point.
Yeah, it's a love story.
It's
like,
a love story,
like,
bro.
yeah.
Like it essentially pulled the power of love, but like gone wrong.
Well, okay, so Armin's like, she's searching for something. She's
Mhm.
searching for a connection. I just don't know what it is, right? Clearly, you know, she was looking for something from Eren,
Mhm.
right? But like she found it from Mikasa.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what
That
Eren was saying. Like
demonstration
Mikasa
at the
did
end.
something that convinced her, and that's what led to like
And he
this
doesn't
ending,
even
right?
know. I like that he doesn't know. Like she killed him, and then right after, kissed him.
Mhm.
You know, even though he's dead.
Yeah,
And her seeing that, it's like, damn, that's devoted love right there.
loved him
She
anyway.
could've loved him.
Oh, so that's what she relates to with Mikasa, because Mikasa loves someone who is committing an atrocity like this one. You know,
That's why
she
murdering
kept-
80% of civilization.
He's the literal manifestation of a monster.
Oh, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. I never thought about that.
And the whole like headache thing was her trying to see into Mikasa's mind.
Okay.
To see like what is he like? What
Why does
Why
does
she
why?
follow him? What's
Why does she follow him to justify why she
blind unconditional love?
love? Okay, I can get behind that.
Meaning of life, homie.
What?
Meaning of life.
It is a meaning. You know they pulled the same shit in Interstellar too.
And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
True. That's wild. People shit on that kind of theme when it comes to movies because sometimes it can be really bad.
That's if the execution's bad. That's if like
That's
everything
hard.
hinges
If you gotta-
just on that.
Yeah, it's a
but if
hard
you
thing to
bury
pull
it
off.
underneath
Dude, I didn't
layers
see
of
it coming.
complexities, fuck no. Fuck no.
Oh shit, this was a love story?
And like it makes sense and it tracks for the series too as a whole because Mikasa has always just been blindly in love with
Mhm.
Eren since the day he like cared for her, right? Like gave her the scarf. After everything he's pulled, after all the like the bitchiness that
All
was
the
the
shit
first
he
couple
said to her.
seasons, the shit that he said to her, like she never cared. He turned on everyone. She didn't care. Like she just wanted to be with him.
Get yourself a woman like that.
That added a
Something
lot of
like
layer to
that.
Mikasa's character that actually made me respect her a lot more because it wasn't like yes, it was blind love to Eren, but it tied in with the fucking show, like something as important as that.
At first it was annoying.
It,
It was
yeah,
a little
I always thought it
annoying.
was just an annoying character trait. I'm like, oh god, but the fact that it was a plot thread this entire time,
And
that
like,
just flips it on its
Which
head.
is
for
really
me.
crazy because in Japanese culture, the red thread is
Mhm.
like
yeah, it connects like the
it's
two.
the red scarf.
Oh fuck! Dang, that's super good.
Why he told her at the end to get rid of it.
Yeah, to get rid of that thread. Oh man.
but she didn't.
It's the metaphorical thread that like bound her to him
Yeah.
throughout fucking time, essentially.
So it's not a bad ending. It's not a bad
No.
ending. It has its like slight ass
Like-
holes maybe.
Okay, I
and-
want to ask about
You
one.
try to poke holes into it with time travel theories. Like it's not super like
It's not
perfect,
perfect.
but it's very tight.
There's a lot of
Very
thought put
tight.
into
It's-
it at the very
Mhm.
least.
It's way better than Tokyo Revengers, I'm sure. Everybody complained.
Started at that.
Everybody complained. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it's
because like how we saw the ending, because they buried his head there. Did that thing just like essentially live?
It wasn't
on.
inside of him.
it wasn't in him.
Huh?
We never saw what happened. to
Yeah.
that
What the
thing,
fuck
though.
happened to
That's
it?
the thing. Where is it?
Hold on.
Did it
hold
hide
on.
in that tree? Like
Big boom, and then it did the steam.
it was like
and
Armin and Eren facing off against each other as like colossals, while Reiner, Annie, Peak, they were all holding that thing back from getting to
Mhm.
Eren. Then we go into the whole like dream sequence of him explaining his entire thing, right? And then They're still holding on to it. Levi and Mikasa come in from Falco.
Mm-hmm.
From Falco, flying in. Mikasa goes, kills Eren. And then all the Titans disappear. But then that thing is gone too.
Remember,
Was it considered a Titan?
the moment Ymir, like that thing was like low key kind of embodying her will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, and then we saw. Oh, then she saw
then you have that
Mikasa like
scene with
you have
her.
that scene.
And everything stopped.
Okay. So if it's attached to Ymir, either her power, her presence, soul, whatever you want to call it, then okay, I guess you can go that route. That was very ambiguous, though. I would have liked a little more clarification. Even if there's a scene of it just shrinking super, super tiny and then like getting away from the scene
Or like,
as everyone's rejoicing, then that ties into the kid finding it maybe in the tree.
mm-hmm.
Like, just something as simple as that maybe would have connected it better.
Or is it that because what did Zeke call it? Called it life?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. It came back because life always finds a way.
Okay. Oh, okay. Stop. Getting all
Left a little piece in his head attached to the little nub of his spinal column. Who knows?
I'm not gonna lie. This is definitely an anime that took my brain and flipped it on a pancake.
A little bit, yeah.
Like one of the things where I'm kind of like,
those
this
things.
is real. That's real. Oh God, I think he's real.
Oh God.
Like it's very.
Yeah. It makes you think.
It makes you think.
A lot. And
I
that's
want to go back and rewatch it now.
and you're gonna get a completely different experience watching it from the beginning now.
Oh.
We need some like SBS style stuff with the creator. Just like, hey, we have some questions. Is it dead? Is the little thing dead? Is the cycle repeating itself? Is that what you were saying?
Because like in my opinion, it doesn't
Even in
make
the
sense for
manga.
that thing to die because Eren's been decapitated before.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing came out of nowhere. So what's
Exactly.
the difference between that then and now? He got decapitated. It just disappears now? Or is it because Zeke's dead? Maybe that has something to do with it.
I mean, the royal blood played a part in it.
I would have liked more information on that thing specifically. I don't know. That I get it. I remember seeing it when Eren got shot by Gabby that first time, back in like part 1 or whatever, or 2. And then we don't see it because it's connected. Like, it's complicated, man. The ending is really complicated. This is the second time I've seen it now. I rewatched it with you guys because I watched it last night for the first time. And I watched it with Sam. He helps me kind of understand more of it, but we were stopping every like 10 to 15 seconds because I'm like, wait, what? Hold on, explain this to me. And he was really patient. I appreciate you, Sam.
Real homie.
Yeah, he's a homie, man. I texted him like super late too. I was like, hey, are you asleep? Can you? Because I knew I was gonna have questions and I needed someone to like answer them for me. So I appreciate you a lot, Sam. But fuck, like I told you guys earlier, I want to watch it in English because maybe that'll help me understand it better too.
I'm sure.
You might be offended by this, but if you liked the ending or didn't like the ending, that might say something about you.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you wanted all of humanity to die? Damn, you're a fucked up individual.
Y'all know Emery
Y'all know what I'm about.
at this point.
Y'all
Are you
know.
really surprised?
I was just setting up the TFS reference. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Well, one of the things that we wanted to talk about, since this is technically, at least for me, my very first anime that I've like caught up to and like finished with the rest of the community.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had one before like that. Everything else has already ended years ago, and I'm just now watching it, or it's still ongoing. And it's been a ride. This show is fucking fantastic, and I'm very happy that I watched it.
It's so fun seeing other people's opinions on it too.
Oh yeah.
Or
Oh,
like
yeah, I
their
bet.
crazy theories, because like one of the best parts like of Reddit is like the manga side of it is
Mhm.
Yeah.
the theories, bro.
Oh, man, people come up with some crazy shit and it
And
makes you think.
People still be dropping theories about like how everything ties together.
That actually reminds
Oh,
me.
wow.
Now I can send y'all them.
Yeah, you definitely need to. One of the things I just saw also is that if you think about it, Flock was right. Remember Flock? Crazy
Yeah.
guy, right? He says, and I quote, "If Eren dies, Paradise will sink into a sea of blood. Your parents, siblings, and children will all die. Dedicate your hearts.
He was right.
He was right.
Dude, Flock didn't
They all
do anything
died.
wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong. He was
No,
just
he was
extreme
just-
about it.
Yeah, he was just extreme.
But like, everything he said, like, it happened. Yeah, sure, it didn't happen directly to them right away, but it happened. They were wiped out because Aaron died, because Aaron didn't commit and not that
Do
he
the
didn't
whole
commit.
100%.
Yeah, basically. So
Bro, that-
your point of view has legs to stand on.
you know what? The little piece, the little thing dying, the amoeba, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's proven that it's dead because all the Titans, all the people it turned into Titans, turned back to human.
Mhm.
Titan powers are removed from the existence in that reality now.
Oh, so that thing wouldn't.
So I don't think it exists.
Wait, so how did he get rid of the Titans? Like, what caused? Was it Emir that decided it? Because
It's-
she
I
saw
think-
that was the thing with
Pretty
Mikasa.
damn sure that's what it was, and like she turned them back into humans. Even
Why was she
Connie
able to?
even said because he was crying and he was like, Aaron said my mom is gonna turn back into a human.
Yeah, that was really
So-
nice. Yeah.
So that
Mm.
means like it wasn't just like that area.
It
of
was
effect.
all of
It
the
was
Titans
the
in the
entire
world.
world.
Okay, but like, so Emir was able to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Why could she do
She's
that
the
again?
progenitor of Titans.
She explained progenitor.
She's like the mother of all Titans.
Yeah.
Like
Because-
she is where Titans come from.
Okay.
Like that path world. You remember it showed her like building
Uh huh.
the bodies of the Titans in there.
Yeah. I
Like,
do remember that. I do
She
remember
made
that.
them
Okay.
all, so she had.
So
the
this is
ability to-
really all her fault. Then I was right about that.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. No. 100%. Yeah. Well, I mean,
90%.
Love makes you do stupid things.
Yeah, it's just silly old things, annihilate society.
Tee.
I'm quirky.
My bad. Oops.
Sorry, I'm a Capri Sun now.
So-
dude, it was good.
I'm gonna keep coming back to this.
But
That fucking. So then, like, I guess like a theory for it would be like that kid going back into the tree, like.
the new Emir.
Yeah. Maybe it wouldn't be something like Titan though,
Robots.
because remember like how Zeke was explaining like how the life like changes and
Oh yeah, it adapts.
evolves.
It I wouldn't
Evolves.
expect it to look
Oh
exactly the
man.
same.
Hold on. Okay, so she adapted to have a big body.
Mhm.
Remember, he explained she adapted to have a big body so she could protect herself
Mhm.
in an immortal body, so
Mhm.
she wouldn't die.
Mhm.
Right? That's like how she became a Titan. Like that's how life evolved when it attached to her. It jump started evolution, and she had the Titan form then, right?
Mhm.
Became the progenitor.
Yeah.
So who's to say this next thing wouldn't be something else?
Yeah, it could be something completely different.
You
Because
saw
he
how
lived
advanced
in.
that city was?
Are you thinking like what Transformers or something?
Fuck no, bro. We getting Gundams.
Gundams. Okay, I said this
That's
to
how you get
Sam
Gundam.
loosely. Like, what if it is a loose prequel to like another fucking?
Fucking mech.
It's the secret prequel to Code Geass.
What if it was like sea monsters this time, or like
Sea monsters.
or like trees?
trees would be cool. Ooh.
Yeah, you could argue anything.
Just whatever is necessary to. I mean, they nuked them, so I mean.
You know why I say
Fucking
specifically Code
abominations.
Geass though? Because it has the same ending too. Like someone amassing all that power and then turning evil for the sake of humanity.
Mhm.
But then they end up just coming to war at the end anyways, even after you die. So what was the point? Same fucking thing.
Did you watch the movie?
For Code Geass?
Yeah.
No.
You should.
Where does it take place? In between seasons or
It's different ending.
different ending?
Yes.
I'll check it out.
But we agree. Had he gone 100%.
You should have committed.
Okay.
Who?
Aaron.
Mikasa and Armin would have still lived a long, happy life regardless. Maybe not
I mean-
not happy, but like long life.
I don't
Yeah.
know if they would have survived.
But their bloodlines are gone now.
Not his problem.
No, if they would.
That would have ultimately maybe.
That's true. I mean, one of those survivors could technically be like a distant relative.
Historia gets to live a long, happy life.
That's a
another
really
thing.
good thing. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Okay.
Turns out it wasn't Aaron's kid.
Yeah. Go ahead.
They 100% would have gave it dark hair, like black
Yeah.
hair. if it
Yeah,
was.
I was looking for the eyes personally.
I am happy that she got to live, her life and everything. But it feels like that plot line was completely abandoned.
Yeah.
It felt like he
Well,
was.
they shoved her to the side.
Didn't do shit this season, dude, and that was really unfortunate in my opinion.
As soon as she became a ruler, she was a figurehead character, and she
Nothing
moved
more.
aside.
Move this
And that's, in my opinion, a huge disservice to her character. I think she was really interesting. I liked to see her progression from, I forgot what her first name was.
She was such an active character without any power.
Yeah, and then they just like show her pregnant once. We all think it's Aaron, and then at the end, nah, it wasn't Aaron.
It was a bait and switch.
Like,
They're like, drama? No, there's not. we were kidding.
yeah. So I don't know if he just decided not to even like develop that route, or maybe he forgot about it, or what. But I didn't like that.
There was a lot going on as well. And you don't know exactly what the mangaka was going through in terms of like deadlines and everything. I know
Yeah,
it's
no, that's
monthly,
fine.
but like still, you know,
No, yeah, I know that I don't know the situation. It's just if that was intended, it wasn't my cup of tea, I guess.
that and then tying together time travel.
And that time travel got complex as shit.
Well, I just like the fact that they explained it. And, like he said, "Oh, I tried a bunch of different ways and approaches. I tried a bunch of times. This is the only outcome, right?" Because then we would genuinely be sitting here questioning, like, "Okay, but what if he did this and then changed this and then did that? Then it could result in, you know what I mean?"
It all probably would have resulted in the death of Mikasa and Armin, and that's really all he cared about. And Levi too, and I guess. But he still left
'Cause
Levi like crippled and fucking.
Remember, I'm pretty sure what he said is that he even had to send that specific Titan
Oh yeah.
to kill his mother.
Yeah, he had to let Bertolt live in order
Mhm.
for Armin to get that, in order for this to happen and take place here. Like, that's kind of crazy.
That was a Like he
That's 5D chess.
traumatized himself.
Mm-hmm.
To set off the sequence of events that led to the entire show.
And you saw it, like, because he sees all of that.
All
Like,
at once.
All at once. There's no past, present, future. It's just constantly happening.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like he even says like it's a lot. Like that's got to be a lot to handle. Every single action you make, and you're constantly seeing the flow of the timeline like change
So and
live.
okay, and then I have a question. When we saw Aaron and Mikasa talk, when he had short hair but he was older, right? Like right
Mhm.
after Mikasa was like, "Oh, I don't know why I'm crying" or whatever at that little cabin. Is that like an alternate timeline?
Okay. So what that was? Yes, it's an alternate timeline. You know how everybody had memories
Yeah.
from Aaron and like those little visits and chats.
Mm-hmm.
Like those were timelines where he like, they were free from what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like the future had changed, they were free from that. Like they, Mikasa and Aaron ran away with that.
So there were other opportunities then outside of killing all the
Okay,
80%.
See, but you say
But
that,
everybody
but
still
like,
would've ended
the
up dying.
results are the same.
So regardless of like whether he joined the military, whether like him and Mikasa like ran away and did whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
they all die, regardless.
Some way or another.
Yes.
Okay. So he just picked that alternate timeline, but like at a point
he
where
picked the
they
timeline where that she would get to live a long life, her and Armin. Like essentially, this probably sounds really shitty about it, but he chose the lesser of a million evils.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he sacrificed himself, I guess, to let
Yeah.
his friends live on.
Well, it's also like for the people of Paradise because they
Yes.
were isolated
Yeah.
on an island and like punished as a people for existing.
Yeah, just for existing,
Mhm.
being who they were.
And that alone is a crime. So like one of them turning around and rebelling against that, but then
That whole system.
swapping it around and having the people from that island be the heroes, so then they can stand as a front.
great
No,
great
don't treat
idea.
them.
That I'm fully like supportive of. I like that a lot. So I guess it's just some smaller things outside of that that like, well, what about that?
How does Mingo put it? There are no winners or losers.
That's whoever wins.
Yeah, it's
the
just
one that determines like what justice is and all that.
or yeah. There's no right and wrong. It's just winners and losers.
And the one who wins is the one who's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, so I really do think the idea of him visiting each one of them and them having memories of like these specific interactions, that was a different timeline. That he tried something and it failed, and he had the opportunity to talk to them and erase the memories.
And he did all of that in the moment that everybody got teleported to the past, correct? Is that when he had that conversation with everyone?
No, he did all of that.
No, that was over time. Like all the attempts, all the different things, because he's experiencing time linearly all at once, right? So all of those things are things that he had done prior to getting into those situations.
So
right? like the Aaron that was manipulating everything was the Aaron who went back and had that conversation with Connie about his mom. You know, different timeline. Talk to Jean.
With Armin though, he was in like multiple times, like when they were kids, when they were like teens, and when they're adults.
And that was, I mean, he can pass memories, but I think that was just kind of because I don't know, to be honest. That, like
right?
that part, I remember watching it and I was like,
why is he having the same conversation across what seems like years apart in the same timeline, or different parts in multiple timelines? And how would our current Armin remember all of those if
all those moments that you see the characters like kind of check out, but then check back in, like where did you go? That's kind of them coming back to that moment in time. Like Aaron, like it was like a break in the timeline. Like that, it was like a key. They use that term in the Doctor Strange what if thing, where like it's a key point in time.
Yeah.
And the conversations that Aaron had with him is when he went the B route, but then sees it didn't work out. And they're blipping back kind of like,
whoa.
But remember, he wiped all of their memories of that until the end. That's why he told Armin, like, the next time you see me, it's going to be this. And then the time you see me after that, I'm going to be gone.
Oh.
And then, like, you see him, he, like, pops back on the boat. Like, he had, he checked out for a bit, flipped back on, and is like, oh, shit.
dude, I wonder if we rewatch the series, if there's going to be, like, little moments
when they're, like, zoned out or something.
Where they, like, say they are by the water, and they're just kind of sitting there quiet, and then Mikasa comes up, and they're like, huh? Oh. What?
Those would be
the moments. Because then that would be a total mind fuck. Because it's like, dude.
Think about the
level of planning.
Yeah. I bet I know when all these conversations started happening too. The moment he touched Historia.
No, and
got the medal.
That's what he said. That's what he said is like, even Armin said, like, so you're telling me you experienced all of this the moment you touched the medal at the ceremony.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah.
My mind would just fry, dude. Holy,
that's why he was
that's why he had a completely different character
yeah.
after experiencing that, is because it was so much.
Yeah, seeing season 4, Aaron, compared to seasons 1 through 3, completely different character. Yep. Like nothing. Yeah.
But that dramatic shift made sense after you realize. And even then, at the time, it felt right.
This is insane. I want to hear everyone's opinion on it, because I feel like everybody could come up with something that like they liked or didn't like and have a pretty good reason as to why.
You know, fuck, man, my brain's going down one. You know how like at the first ever episode, how like Aaron wakes up from the dream, and then at the first episode of when who is it? Is it Falco?
Oh, the kid, yeah.
Yeah, he wakes up and he also has the same kind of.
Oh yeah.
What if that was them?
Do you think Aaron talked to him then?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool how he sees the bird flying around. Now that makes sense, because he turns into the bird.
And like, what if like Aaron waking up under the tree that first time was like one of the first times like he ever tried to like set down a different path?
Explain.
So like I said, like Gary said, like he's tried, like throughout time, he's like tried moving different pieces over here, there, there. And so like this one, when he wakes up, that's when he like, that was like the first domino set up. Like, all right, this is the one I'm going to go with.
Wow. Okay. And we just got to see the events unfold in this timeline where things did work. Well, he accomplished what he wanted, I guess.
Yes.
And he saw the best outcome possible. And it's crazy because like you're watching it and all of it is so tragic, right? But then like at the end, it's also beautiful. It's like it's a beautiful story, and all these things are happening, but it's all so tragic.
So tragic.
Like millions of people are dead.
Billions of people. If 80% of the world died.
Civilization has basically been reset. And bro, that shit was so crazy. Like the way Annie's dad was like working with the sergeant dude, and they're like, we got that. Even though they were enemies before, they're like, we're gonna work together. We're gonna rebuild. And as soon as Titan powers were gone, and the Paradise demons were there, it's like, don't shoot us, please don't shoot us.
Yeah.
Please don't shoot. Oh, you have power, and there's like, oh, we got guns, and there's no Titan power. Cool.
Complete 180.
And immediately,
I guess that's your first sign that like it's never gonna end.
Yeah,
they'll never fully
nature.
trust each other. All right, yeah, no, you're not wrong in that regard.
Think about this. I mean, some of them survived. Like they were part of the
humanity.
like a part of that 20%. You had people from
LDM,
and then you had people from
Marley.
Oh,
right.
well, there's also other countries and areas because they showed all kinds of different cultures, kind of like
But like you would think like after a mass event like that, the outside world probably comes together, right? You still have Eldians, and they still reverted back to fucking nuking them.
Yeah, they did. So honestly, I'm starting to agree more and more with you that maybe the only solution really was to wipe out everybody except the Eldians and let civilization restart, but with like just a common race.
But what if civilization never restarted? What if that was the end? Like
life would have found another way. We would have gotten full on bird people, dolphin people. There was so much ocean.
One Piece.
but remember, it wasn't about like the continuation of the species.
It was
it was like giving people the opportunity to experience what life is about.
I don't know. I think there would have been enough people left in Eldian that they could have repopulated that island, gotten to the point where it's just like, we're running out of room. Let's travel across the sea, see what we find. Oh my God. Could you imagine like hundreds, thousands of years go by, they leave, they go to this other like continent that they have like no real history on because it's lost to time. And there's just giant people, and it's just like, what the fuck? They're just sitting there.
Well,
menacingly.
They're not there anymore.
Okay, so they wouldn't be there, but like there would be like giant footprints still. There would be like, imagine just
the hardening stuff.
That's true.
The hardening stuff, and then I guess what's it called, fossils and shit like that.
Yeah, it's just like evidence that there was something else and it was huge.
Like, dude, I would never want to be Christopher Columbus going to that goddamn. No, you want to talk about like Indian burial grounds?
Oh boy.
No, that is the slaughter grounds.
Yeah.
I wonder if ODM gear made it into the modern day.
For real.
I mean, they had skyscrapers, like fucking fighter jets, missile launchers.
It looked like what's it fucking called? Hey Bunny Lord, what's the really fancy civilization that Sinbad was running?
Syndria?
No, after.
Like the advanced.
Yes.
Like the
Partavia. It looked like Partavia.
Yeah.
Like after like Alibaba came back, like that's what that civilization started to look like.
Yeah. It was cool getting to see that.
That was
not cool getting to see it nuked, but you know.
It felt like the Futurama intro.
Yeah, it did.
I was just waiting for aliens coming. Choo 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 choo.
Kind of did, yeah.
Might as well.
Thousands of years passing.
That's wild.
Okay, what would you rate this series? 10. 1 out of 10. 10?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Look. I know it might have its issues. There might be some plot holes, but overall, It was a wild ride. There's not many authors who can take you and make you fully believe in something and then completely switch it all up and you be like, fuck yes, I'm down for this ride. We were deceived from the start.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, he's right. You can never watch the show
I'm
again
saying
the same
10.
way again.
No, you never can.
After the
Fuck
first
no.
experience, it'll never be the same. That's why I got to give it a 10.
That's a really
And
good
honestly,
point.
the next time I watch it, it's probably going to be even crazier because it's a whole different experience. I know everything. I know I'm going to be looking for all these little things.
I need to do that. As
Me
some
too.
Content.
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
straight up, just like watch it all the way through again, and be like, ah.
Oh, y'all know, for example, like in season 1, there's a scene where like Emir, Bertolt, and Historia get like attacked by a Titan. They're about to get eaten. In the background, you see Bertolt about to bite his arm or hand or something.
Oh yeah,
It's just like off to the side. But then they get saved by or Emir, I think, saves them. But like shit like that, nobody ever fucking noticed that until we learned that like he was the Colossal, and you're like,
oh. Mm.
this is
So
like
it's there. Like, they knew what they were doing.
And
The level of planning, dude.
think about this. Because Bartol had to reveal when he did, it means Aaron would have put Emir there Emir did there when, just specifically because
he
of that.
sent maybe a specific Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Like a wandering one, the one that Emir interacted with or whatever. Yeah, everything was planned. He probably, he made everything happen.
Well, you also have to understand, like, he knows so much history of that world simply from being the founding Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the past, he knows all of it. He knows the history of the world. All the way up to Ymir, like, attaching.
Yeah.
And even then, like, he experienced all her memories, too.
What if the reason why all the past, like they said something like, I swear to God that they had said this in the past, that like any like royal that tried to possess the like founding Titan genetics would go fucking mad. What if that's why? Because they were like, they're royal, they have the founding Titan, they're burdened with all of time constantly.
It makes sense, honestly.
Send anyone like crazy.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Aaron just had the will to kind of semi keep his shit together for a little bit longer.
He didn't
Just for a little bit longer.
That's
The man cut off his own leg. Never mind.
he did a lot of
Dude, that was crazy. He cut off his
Hardcore.
own leg and made sure that his Titan healing stuff didn't kick in.
Yeah.
Like, he literally walked around with the pain of a chopped off leg to get some shit done. That's respect. I respect it.
Probably didn't feel anything at this point. Like he was just so overwhelmed.
So numb.
So numb to everything. I mean, his expression was always like just
Okay.
indifferent.
It makes so much sense why he was like, I have to do this. I have to do this attack.
Now, because I'm a real sumbitch, now that this anime is finished, where do you place it?
I fully believe that it's staying in my number 3 spot. I love this anime to death, dude. Like I'm so happy I watched it. I watched it shortly after catching up to One Piece, bro, and these two I put up there because of what it did. Like
I'm gonna go ahead and just hard lock it at 4.
at 4.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I think it's got to take the number 4 spot for me.
Yeah, it's top 5 worthy in my opinion. People that shit on it, like maybe
Eat
it's
shit.
not your cup of tea, but dude, you can't say it's a bad show. It's
It's
just not your type of show. That's fine, but you can't. I don't think you can say it's a.
It's not
bad
my fault.
show.
You're not sophisticated.
Sorry, all those philosophical things flew over your head, huh?
Smooth brained.
Smooth brain, no wrinkles.
Yeah.
God.
Hey, I fucking love it. I definitely think. Yeah, and this actually brings in like a good topic, I guess, to think of. Like if you're putting it in your top 4, you know, a lot of people didn't like the ending, for example. And do you think, for example, that like if a show has a bad ending, does that ruin the reputation of a show? Like,
Fuck no.
would that ruin like your feeling towards it?
Only because of like the previous conversation we were having.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say no. Like you can have. It goes back to that the age-old saying: It's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
Yep.
Okay. You may not like the destination, but if overall you enjoyed that journey, kind of seems like it was worth it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that.
How many people have you heard recommend Soul Eater? And the ending is terrible. Like the anime ending is terrible.
Yeah.
The manga ending kind of makes sense. Reminds me of Fairy Tail a little bit though.
But everything before the ending is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That's why people recommend it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can say that for so many shows. I can think of like 2 or 3 off the top of my head. Like, and not even anime. You can apply this to regular TV shows too, like live action. Game of Thrones, we all know how controversial that ending is. You either love it or you hate it. There's literally no in between, in my opinion.
Still amazing.
Did the ending of GT ruin it for you?
No, the ending of GT was fantastic. What are you talking about? I love the ending for GT. That's a different topic for another day.
I pushed the GT
He just
button.
put. I was like, you just put a mental note in Martine's head. Like, I'm gonna rip into that later.
Yeah, no, yeah, you should. You press the GT button. He has the Goku button or the Black Clover button.
That's not Vegeta
He has
button,
the
or not
GT he has
the
the
Zora
GT
button.
button.
The Zora button. There you go. And I have the GT button.
Sorry, I like fucking with you.
You know
I
what?
can tell.
Do you know what Gary's button is?
No,
Really,
I can probably think of something.
it's actually a lot easier than you think.
the One Piece or Luffy button.
Nope.
What?
Digimon was a better pocket monster than Pokemon.
Oh. Oh no.
I'm just kidding. You know I'm just kidding. But like,
Y'all may not be able to see it, but like he just burst into flames.
Yugo is trash. It always has been trash. It always will be trash. It will never not be trash.
he's fighting against his like basic instincts because he loves Yu-Gi-Oh. But he just loves Pokemon so much more.
so fucked up.
I know. I'm sorry.
Specifically Digimon.
Yeah.
Because I know there might be an inkling of truth in there, you fuck.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit.
Look, I love Digimon. I played the game. I got the game. It's on my Switch right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still choosing to play a
Old.
10, 15-year-old plus Pokemon game over that shit.
On his Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, just saying. Just saying.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, well, now we know the button. So everyone
Is it
pisses
high
off.
in here?
What was I saying? Yeah, going back to like the bad endings ruining. the
Oh
TV
yeah.
show. Well, like Game of Thrones is a big one that I always think of. Like, I did not like the ending personally, right? Pissed me off, but that hasn't stopped me from watching that show 3 times.
I
and
loved
recommending
the
it to
ending.
everyone.
Fucking burn them all.
It was a great ending.
What? That's another thing that we're not getting into again. It's easy to like talk about that because everyone has their own opinions, you know. And again, it's specifically for those shows that you either love it or hate it.
No, I got it.
No. Here's a good one. Naruto.
Ooh,
The ending of Naruto is Boruto. Did it ruin it? Did it ruin the reputation?
no.
Yes. No, it did.
No, it
It did.
didn't.
Who
No,
go-
it didn't.
Dude, bro, come on. You're telling me that when somebody gets recommended Naruto, they don't go and go, I don't know, I saw that shit from Boruto. It just doesn't really look like something
That's a
I'd
good
enjoy.
point.
It's a point, but like I don't think like Naruto specifically. If you keep that separate from Boruto, you
Keep it
can't say
separate.
Naruto is
So
bad.
you
The
have to
issue
keep
is-
it separate?
I don't think Naruto's gonna be able to,
Recover.
contest with time. Over time, more shit will come from Boruto that will reflect on Naruto, and then like more things will come out, like realizing like there's a whole thing out there about being like, if you love Naruto and you think it's the greatest thing ever, you probably need to grow up a little bit.
You're gonna piss a lot of people off with that one.
I didn't fucking say it.
No, I
but,
know.
like,
I know.
There is some truth to it because
A little bit.
if you
There's a
take-
lot of shit out there.
No.
I get it.
take it compared to the other big 3.
I've even gone and said that, like, Bleach, for example. I like Bleach better than Naruto, but I still think Naruto is maybe better in the sense it's more successful or something.
Yeah,
you know?
it's more successful easily, but like, let's be honest. What happens in Bleach is a lot more mature than some of the things that happen in like, dude, in like the last episode of Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood Work, how many people fucking died?
It's not about deaths.
But
though.
I'm saying like like on a scale of like that's just the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're willing to just hold nothing back with like the blood and the gore. What's gonna hold them back from deeper philosophical things like deeper fights?
I feel like you can find some
conflict
of that in
between-
Naruto. I will say nowhere near as much as in Bleach and like One Piece.
but that's like I'm saying,
So
like
that's what you're
over
saying.
time though, more things are gonna become like realizing that like I just don't think that Naruto the series will be able to contest with time.
Okay.
Bleach, I don't know how it ends. I know like there's
Imagine
still a
if they made-
shit ton of it.
Imagine if they made a sequel to Bleach called Clorox. They turn around and Ichigo-san's the main character.
No.
You're not just gonna walk.
We're not.
Trying to stay on topic here.
No, there ain't no staying on topic when you say his son Clorox.
I can never unhear that now.
I didn't say his son. I said a sequel.
Oh, a
Named
sequel
Clorox.
called.
Yeah,
okay,
Clorox.
okay. Called Clorox.
Stupid as fuck.
Right? But it'd probably be like an offshoot, like, oh, Shinigami Hunter. And my dad's also there, so if I ever get in trouble, I'm good. He'll come and save me. Right? And be like a played out week by week monster of the week thing.
What's a typical shonen?
I mean, that's
But
how
then wouldn't it
Bleach
start to water it
started
down?
off, but then they popped off too,
Mhm.
right? I don't think that there's the space for it in the sequel. Like
Probably
we already got all the interesting shit.
And you're saying this for like Naruto specifically?
No, I'm saying for
Or-
Bleach.
For Bleach?
Like with Bleach. If it
Yeah,
had
I
a
don't think like
it
a
would
sequel
affect it.
wouldn't be as interesting probably.
Yeah, and it could over time start to overshadow and affect the opinions of Bleach because
Same
they
could
could
be
take
said
the
about-
ideas and concepts, the different tribes, Queen Seas, the hollows, all of that. They can take all of that, mumble jumble it, mix it up, change it because they want to do something different, and then now some of the stuff that like in the original series that happened
Just doesn't hit as well.
Okay. Well, what about Dragon Ball Z? Because that one's also older, and it's had sequels. So what's your take on that? On like, the Dragon Ball franchise?
He never put it in a box of like this is all explained and this is why this is that way and that's this way for a reason. They have a dog for a president. There's no explanation. We don't question it. We just accept it and move on.
They got T-Rexes still alive.
There's cities, but they're still T-Rexes. You know what I'm saying? Like
The others are more modern.
It's this
Not
insane
modern, but, like-
world, but he left it so undefined that he can just throw stuff into it, and it can exist because he never said it can't.
With Dragon Ball, they didn't expand much on the world themselves, but mostly the characters.
Okay. I can
Every
kind of see
time-
that.
Every time you saw something, like whenever Goku went to the moon and fucking fought that bunny guy.
What?
That's possible.
You know about
It's a
that.
fucking thing.
No. It's like, but
Yeah.
like what?
Yeah.
But it didn't feel out of pocket or anything, right? It was like,
Mhm.
oh, new Goofy got to fight. Okay.
So is that why you would say One Piece is also as long lasting and probably won't have that
Yeah.
effect
Yes.
because it's such
not-
a
Because
Contained
you
in
are
a
getting
box.
like we're
Not
getting
contained,
the
it's-
whole world. And
yeah,
everything it has to fucking offer.
anything goes.
Anything. I mean, there's space pirates.
Yeah. Okay. So when you're comparing it like that, I see your point.
It doesn't scale properly. Naruto doesn't. It's too concrete and defined
Yeah.
in that world.
Okay, so I guess circling back to like the original point, I kind of I guess agree that over time, like the longevity of Naruto may not be as long as people think, but to a certain extent, I still think the successfulness of it is what's gonna keep it as long as possible, and like it regarded as like one of those like higher or like not higher tier, but just like
Well, yeah, bro. It's like
OG
Fast and
anime,
Furious.
you know, like it paved the way for some stuff. Not as much as Dragon Ball or other shows, but it is iconic in its own right.
Oh yeah, you can't deny that it didn't set like a
Even-
lot of different other creators down the path of being like,
Mhm.
I want to be like him.
Yeah, even with a poor ending.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
So-
Naruto was like the start of anime. It's a pretty
Yeah.
a
So-
lot of people just.
So I
start
guess
with
you can
that.
definitely say that like bad endings don't necessarily ruin the reputation of a show.
Quick question:
Bad sequels do.
Bad sequels do. Yeah, that's
That's
fair.
the name of this episode.
So like, no, that's a really good point though. Yeah.
Bad endings don't ruin anime.
Bad
sequels do.
Yeah.
Because if we had a bad ending for One Piece,
We're not gonna stop me from recommending it to
turn
everyone.
around and still stay and being like, it's still the greatest fucking anime ever. I don't give a shit. People are, I don't like the ending, but guess what? You'll watch it, have a totally different experience, and probably love it.
Dude, yeah, some of my favorite shows have like the worst endings. Fucking How I Met Your Mother, Game of Thrones, Dexter. I didn't like the ending for any of those. They're still some of my favorite shows ever, and I've still recommended it to everybody. I just always warn them, like, hey, ending, it's not great, but trust me, the rest of the show is peak.
I disagree with the Game of Thrones ending, but fuck me, bro. Dexter, Jesus Christ.
Dexter,
why the fuck did you have to do it?
Don't even bring it up.
Did y'all see it?
Yes, don't even bring it up.
You didn't like it?
No.
No?
Dude, I would, again, one of the bad endings don't ruin series. Sequels fucking do.
I don't think it was a bad sequel. The one where he's like in the, like when he moves up north, right? To like Alaska or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's like in the woods and shit. And his son shows up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate it. That's all I'll say.
There's a sequel?
Yeah. Oh, you gotta watch it.
Yeah,
There's
a sequel series, yeah.
It's super short. It's one season, and that's it. But it's called Dexter True Blood, maybe? I will find it, and I didn't even know you watched Dexter originally. But I need you to watch this because I need your opinion, because you might either love it or hate it. It's one of those.
Bet.
Yeah. It's like kind of a little bit of a time skip.
Dude, that's dope as fuck. I had no idea they made any more Dexter.
Oh, I was watching it week to week with Pablo when we used to live together.
Oh, yeah,
How
that's
the
right.
fuck did I miss that?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I told you.
I gotta pay more attention.
Also, I'm just going to put this out there. Okay? Okay, so I want to put this out there because everybody needs to be watching this. Amazon Prime. Invincible Season 2. The first episode was fucking amazing.
Is it coming out like episode per episode?
Yes.
Oh, I thought they dropped the whole season.
Nope.
Oh, that's even.
Oh, trust me, I would have already binged it all.
Gotcha. Because I thought it was the whole thing. I was like, fuck, I don't have time to watch the entire thing. So, like, if it's one episode a week, I can do that.
And I'm not going to lie, the way they set up something, I was like, oh.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta get on that.
It's not the same.
Not the same as one.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. But again, if you guys haven't checked out Invincible, it's hands down some of the greatest Western animation out there.
So good.
And storytelling. It
And
is
storytelling.
one of the biggest stories from Valorant comics. Just saying.
Like if you ever pick up like their comics, they're sold by like the thickness like this.
Oh wow.
Like you know the Berserk hardcover book, like it's like that. You can sell, and like they'll sell them like it's like buying a Shonen Jump magazine. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely check it out. We'll talk about it once, like maybe closer to the end of the season or something. We can do like a whole series review.
Oh, definitely. We're gonna have to because I love that series too much.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to take our time. That's one of the ones that we used to play like before. We'd record episodes back in the day. Remember?
Yeah. You guys would come over. We would watch an episode like to get super hyped, and then we would start recording.
Wow.
And sometimes we'd talk about the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
Oh no, it was when I finally got you guys to finish it. That's when we talked about it because
Yeah,
I
that's
wanted
right,
to
yeah.
for so long.
We got to do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really
We're gonna have to definitely start talking about that as it comes out.
for sure.
Make sure you guys tune in for more of that. Like always, make sure you guys have the notifications on so you guys know when we post these. And Alchemist out?
Not yet. We want to know your opinion. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
This Attack on Titan stuff, we're all trying to wrap our heads around it and like let's come together as a community.
Yeah.
I want to hear y'all's theories. I want to know what people are thinking about this.
Yeah.
What do you rate it? Where do you guys put this on your anime tier list?
What did you think of the finale? Did you love it or did you hate it?
If you could have changed something, like let us know.
I'm so curious.
Leave something in the comments. You can basically comment on anything, by the way. You can comment on our Spotify audio. You can comment on our YouTube. So
Yeah, we see it.
TikTok too.
TikTok too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
Appreciate y'all.
Alchemist out.
Alchemist
Alchemist
out.
out.